presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawks. We are Wisconsin.
Welcome to Miller Park on this Tuesday night. It's the Cardinals and the Brew Crew, game 2 of their series. As Milwaukee tries to get one back after giving another game away on Monday night. Big night on the mound for Randy Wolf as he tries to keep the Brewers' slim hopes to stay in contention in the division race alive against rookie Joe Kelly here for game 2. Hi, everybody. Jerry and Craig back on board here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. And once again last night, and for the third consecutive night, sensational starting pitching. Big effort by the Milwaukee Brewers starters as they get out and set the stage for possible victories. They've definitely done their part.
Oh, I'll tell you what, you got to like the way the starting pitching has what they've been doing. And it comes from three things. First of all three have a great game plan. They know what they do when they want to go out there. They locate their pitches. They've been getting at hitters, throwing strikes, and that's what you have to do. And last, they got that good confidence. They know that when they go out there, they execute, they locate, good things will happen, and it's done just that.
It was Marco Estrada on Saturday, Giovanni Gallardo on Sunday, and Mike Fiers last night. They have done an outstanding job to put this Brewer team in place to win games, and now they just have to finish off those would-be victories, and we'll have more on that. The door's not closed to finishing games for the Brewers. B.A. and Rock tell us about a changing of the guard in the 9th inning. Game 2 is on the way.
Presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Miller Lite, because when friends come together, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota. When you choose Toyota, you get a lot for less. Toyota. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. Miller Park, Milwaukee, and we're set for game 2 of this series with the Cardinals. Ryan Braun on the verge of a milestone. He is just 2 hits away from career base hit number 1,000. A season streak going for Corey Hart. He's hitting 10 in a row. Had a big home run yesterday during that streak, hitting near 400. And hi, everybody. We welcome you back from Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. As Craig alluded to, the Brewers did make a change. This is a team not without its headlines right now. They made a change in their closer's role after John Axford blew his 6th save of the season last night. Ron Rickie announced before the ballgame, Rock, that he's going to go with Francisco Rodriguez as a closer moving forward. That certainly affects 2 players. Let's start with John Axford.
Yeah, John Axford's had a tough season, but it's nice to have options, and Ron Rickie certainly does have options. Axford really having a tough time with his command and really has not been able to lock down saves like he did a year ago. Of course, setting the bar for himself so high with 49 straight. I don't think anybody could have expected Axford to do that, but it has been a struggle for him. But K-Rod, a guy that's 8 saves away from a milestone save total, he's a guy that can lock down the saves, and if John Axford's not able to do it, nice to have a guy like K-Rod to come in. He has the experience. He certainly has the ability to do it. He wants to do it, and that's the biggest part. It's not just having the stuff to be able to be a closer. It's having that mentality, wanting the baseball, knowing how to get it done, and Francisco Rodriguez certainly fits that bill.
292 career saves. He is still the major league leader in a single season when he was with the Angels. Ryan Braun, speaking of milestones, we talked about 1,000. Does he have 2 hits in him tonight? It's game 2, the Brewers and the Cardinals. It's coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. To the field here at Miller Park. Wolf was a winner in the LCS last year against the St. Louis Cardinals, and he matches up against the Redbirds once again here tonight. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Former Brewer player Mike Matheny, terrific catcher in his day, a 4-time Gold Glover in his first year as the skipper of the St. Louis Cardinals. And the Cardinals snatched one back last night down to their last out. They scored 3 in the 9th to win it. And here is Matheny's batting order today. It's brought to you by Piggly Wiggly. Back in there is Carlos Beltran. He hits in the cleanup spot today. He's putting together an MVP-type season. Got a change at second base as well in Tyler Greene. And Joe Kelly on the mound. It'll be our first look at the 24-year-old right-hander Joe Kelly. Randy Wolf gets the ball for the Brewers today, Rock. He is 2-6 and is in desperate need of a turnaround this season.
Yeah, he has not won a game since the end of April. April 30th at San Diego. Pitched well
3 runs in 5 innings in that game, but you see the one bullpen appearance that came in his last outing. That came in Houston on Saturday after Zach Greinke was ejected. But hasn't made a start since July 4th against the Marlins right here at Miller Park.
And the defense behind Randy Wolf tonight for the Brew Crew with Ryan Braun, Carlos Gomez, and Nori Aoki in the outfield. Ramirez and Izturis on the left side of the infield with Weeks and Hart on the right side. Catching is George Kataris, as he usually does with Randy Wolf on the mound. Menards Brewers defense. Randy Wolf deals strike 1, 2 for call. And away we go at Miller Park. And for call with the high socks. Going old school tonight. The switch hitting leadoff hitter, the All-Stars shortstop. Shallow center. And Aoki will run this one down in right center field. For call retired. Brian Gorman is the crew chief. He is behind the plate calling balls and strikes this evening with Todd Tischner, Tony Randazzo, and Bob Davidson on the bases. It has cooled off here a little bit, believe it or not. It was in the high 90s when we arrived at the ballpark today, but some cloud cover, 85 degrees, and there is a chance of thunderstorms tonight. Interesting roof configuration. It's wide open now, but about 30 minutes before the game they had started to close it, then stopped, and then kept it in a half closed position, then opened it up all the way. So
Yeah, what do you make of all that?
chasing storms, it sounds like.
Yeah, well, I expected the heat to break a little bit going forward here in Milwaukee. Only in the 80s the rest of the way.
There's a strike called on the inside corner to Alan Craig, who had the decisive RBI in last night's game, a 9th inning RBI single with 2 outs and 2 strikes that gave the Cardinals the lead, and a lead they would not relinquish. Bouncing ball in the hole, it gets through for a base hit, and Alan Craig is aboard with a single. St. Louis has a relentless lineup. They are statistically the best hitting team in the National League.
Yep, they lead the league in batting average, hits, on base percentage. They're 3rd in the league in home runs and 1st in runs scored. So yeah, you have to outslug the Cardinals ordinarily,
and that's where they sit. And going around the National League, they are the best offense top to bottom. They have weapons up and down their lineup. Mike Matheny loves where his offense is right now, but needs improvement from the pitching staff, and of course they've dealt with some injuries as well. Chris Carpenter is out for the season. The big starter is actually going to have season-ending surgery in 2 days. So they're trying to put some pieces together. Lance Lynn started last night for the Cardinals and pitched well. And tonight we're going to get a look, our first look at Joe Kelly. A quick trip to the mound in the 1st inning for George Kataris.
Well, you wonder how the control is going to be for Randy Wolf. We mentioned his last start July 4th here at Miller Park. That's almost 2 weeks ago. That's a long layoff for a control pitcher, but he did pitch out of the bullpen on Saturday before the All-Star break through 2 scoreless innings.
That was Wolf's first relief appearance since 2001. Just needing some game activity prior to the All-Star break. Matt Holliday comes in hitting .317. He had the hit that tied it in the 9th inning last night, a 2 RBI single, also coming with 2 strikes and 2 outs. Frustrating night at the ballpark for the Brewers, losing 3-2 and resulting in a change in the closer's role for Ron Rickie.
And that was a tough loss to swallow last night, a 2-0 lead going into the 9th, and man at first and 2 outs. John Axford not able to nail down a save, and because of that, Francisco Rodriguez will close games for a while. John Axford will not pitch tonight, but he will be used in undisclosed situations going forward, trying to get his confidence back, trying to get command of that curveball more than anything else back in the repertoire of John Axford.
Holliday hit by a pitch and down in a heap. Randy Wolf trying to come inside on Holliday, let one get away, and he drills him.
That's what we're talking about. Command for Randy Wolf. He has to be able to control the inside corner to right-handed batters, and I guess he's figuring if I'm not going to leave it out over the plate. And that one had a cut on it and got Holiday right around the knee. And he got it right on that knee bone, the side of the knee, and there's not a whole lot of meat right there. That hit all bone.
And a knee that is already giving Holiday trouble. See, he has that padding on that knee already. But looks like he's going to try to give it a go. He'll stay in the game, and he'll take first base. So 2 on in the first inning. Cardinals threatening with their best hitter this year coming to the plate in Carlos Beltran. Beltran has had a huge season for the St. Louis Cardinals. An all-star once again, an all-star starter, as a matter of fact. Got 2/3 of the starting outfield in the National League here in this game with Beltran and Braun. Melky Cabrera was the other outfielder. Beltran with 20 homers, 65 RBIs. He is tied with Braun in the National League for runs batted in. And the 20 homers, good enough for 3rd in the league coming in.
And that's what hurt the most about that loss yesterday against the Cardinals. Beltran had the day off. Pinch hitting in 9th. He made it out. But some kind of season for both Beltran and Ryan Braun so far.
There's a strike to Beltran, and it's 1-2. He's a switch hitter. A major knee surgery a few years back while playing for the Mets. Came back, proved he was healthy. No longer a center fielder anymore, but proved he could play right field. The Mets traded him to the Giants last year in a move that didn't pay off for the Giants. Little shot off the hands. Weeks takes it on the bag for 1, and he'll turn a double play. That could have been a double play in a lot of ways. But Weeks makes the wise move, plays it on a hop, and a 4-3 double play to end the first inning. Bench coach Jerry Aaron. Brewers putting their lineup together today. Like the way the Brewers have been playing. Renicky was saying earlier, starting to get some things together offensively. Starting pitching has been outstanding. Just got to finish off those games after one got away last night. Here is the Piggly Wiggly batting order for Renicky's Brewers today. Aoki, Gomez, and Braun. You've got Ramirez, Hart, and Weeks. George Gutierrez, the only change in this order as he catches, and Cesar Izturis will be at short with Randy Wolf doing the pitching tonight. And it's Joe Kelly on the mound for the St. Louis Cardinals. His 6 starts in the big league so far, Rock, has produced a .270 earned run average.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. He got called up from AAA Memphis to make a start on June 6th. He's been throwing the baseball pretty well. 4 consecutive quality starts, 7 earned runs in 24 innings in that stretch. But he's only won once.
Joe Kelly started the season last season in Single A. This is his first big league season. Facing Nori Aoki to start it, and Aoki swings away on the first pitch. He fouls it back.
And they say that Kelly has a very good fastball. He'll throw it in the mid to upper 90s. Pretty good slider. And he throws strikes.
It's kind of a rare bird in that he throws a big fastball but doesn't strike out a lot of hitters. He's a ground ball type pitcher. Slings it in there as he deals Aoki strike 2. Even in the minor leagues, over 338 career minor league innings, had 280 strikeouts. Typically a guy with an upper 90s fastball, it would be about a strikeout per inning.
That tells you he struggles with his breaking ball. There's that 97 that we heard about. He can reach back. He's going to live around 94, 95, and he'll reach back once in a while and give you one of those.
1-2 to Aoki, and that one misses away. Joe Kelly began the year in A ball, then to Double A. Started this year in Triple A. Was 2-5 in Triple A with a 2.86 ERA in Memphis before his call up as Aoki slaps one back up the middle, a base hit. He continues to hit Nori Aoki. Here's how the Cardinals line up defensively today. Matt Holliday, Carlos Beltran, Matt Carpenter. Around the infield, it's David Freese, Rafael Furcal, Tyler Greene, and Alan Craig, and the Gold Glover, Yadier Molina, the Platinum Glover, Yadier Molina. Beltran getting the start in center field here tonight. The Cardinals are below average defensively at all 3 outfield spots. Beltran more suited for a corner outfield spot these days, but Mike Matheny wants to keep Matt Carpenter's bat in the lineup.
Yep, the only left-hander in the lineup against Randy Wolf. So not a lot of mobility in that outfield, particularly in left, since Matt Holliday just got hit by a pitch on the knee. He's not moving around too well.
Carlos Gomez with Aoki at first base. Gomez always a threat to bunt. Very good bunter. And if there was ever a time to test the play of a third baseman, this would be it with David Freese over there. Freese is a very good first baseman on plays he can get to, but he is hobbled a little bit. Kelly trying to keep Aoki close.
Right now, the Cardinals a very solid defensive unit, but on the left side, they committed 15 errors. Not too bad, but as you mentioned, the mobility a little bit in question at third base, not at short. If he can get to it, he's usually going to make the play.
Freese bunts down the third base line. Here's Freese, barehanded pickup, and not in time. Gomez beats it down the line. That was a very good play by David Freese, but just a perfect bunt by Carlos Gomez.
And a good call up here in the booth. Outstanding job. And check out, watch how long it takes for David Freese to realize that Gomez is going to drop down a bunt. And there's no way you're going to get Gomez in a bunt like that as fast as he is. Even a good play by David Freese, not even close.
Infield hit for Gomez. 2 aboard for Ryan Braun now. Second time this year Gomez has bunted for a hit. And Braun with men on in this first inning, trying to put the pressure on the rookie pitcher. Braun 2 hits away from 1,000 in his career. He is the National League leader in home runs with 26 as we check our Powerball home run leaderboard starting play today.
Corey Hart with number 17 yesterday, and it looked as though that might be a game winner. Not to be.
Ball and a strike on Braun. Braun leads the National League. Adam Dunn is the American League leader with 28 home runs for the White Sox. Only Adam Dunn, Jose Bautista, who's on the disabled list now, and Josh Hamilton have hit more home runs than Ryan Braun. 1-2 the count on Braun. Good breaking ball from Joe Kelly.
Yeah, the best breaking pitch that he's thrown so far today. A good slider. There's been a lot of fastballs from Kelly, and that was perfectly placed on the outside corner.
Kelly, a former third-round draft pick in the 09 draft out of Cal Riverside, and pushed quickly to the big leagues. You see where Ryan Braun ranks in the National League, some of the major offensive categories, leading the league in homers and RBIs. And Braun 9th in the league starting play today in batting average. He's hitting .312. Yesterday, Braun was 1 for 4. Had a double and an RBI in the bottom of the 8th inning last night. That extended the lead to 2-0 at the time. Got him. Braun strikes out as Kelly powers a fastball right by him.
Yeah, good late movement. It has a tail on it, not much sink. That ball, as it gets to home plate, about 3 inches, 3-4 inches off the inside corner, and Braun comes up empty. That's a good live fastball at 96 miles an hour.
So 2 on with 1 out now for Aramis Ramirez. A good fastball hitter. Breaking ball by Kelly, the one that Braun chased, that really set the at-bat up for Kelly. Coming back with a fastball.
It's usually the way it works. You get that breaking ball over early in the count to a hitter, and he, in the back of his mind, he's not able to, get the bat head out on the fastball as well. The importance of throwing the breaking pitch for strikes.
Kelly made his first big league start on June 10th against the Indians. That was in St. Louis. There's a strike. So the Brewers haven't seen him yet. He's made just 6 starts in the big leagues. His victory came against the Royals on the road in Kansas City, and he took a loss against the Colorado Rockies at home. No decisions otherwise. Ramirez bounces one to Freeze. Nice pickup. Bobbles a little. And they do get the out at second base. Out number 2. Ramirez reaches on a fielder's choice. Now Corey Hart hit number 17 on the Powerball home run count.
A 7th inning home run that gave Mike Fiers a 1-0 lead. A bomb in the center field.
Banged it off the scoreboard, did Corey Hart. He's one of the league leaders in extra base hits. As a matter of fact, he's second only to Joey Votto in extra base hits. Hart with 45 extra base hits this year, with those 17 homers. First and third, 2 away. And a swing and a miss at a breaking ball. With his 17 homers, Hart also has 24 doubles. Puts him in the top 10 in the National League in that category as well. He's had a great season. 0-2 the count.
That fastball's got a lot of life to it. His numbers have been good since his recall from AAA. You can see why. Not a whole lot that he throws is straight.
Hasn't given up more than 3 earned runs in a game, and he's only done that once. That was actually in his win against the Royals on the road. Otherwise, he's given up 2 or fewer earned runs in every start. And he's been able to go at least 6 innings in his last 4 starts. Brewers threatening early with runners at first and third. First 2 reached. Aoki and Gomez. And Hart into left field, a base hit. Aoki will score, and the Brewers are on the board first tonight against the Cardinals.
They got a breaking ball that Kelly left down the middle of the plate. Big long arms from Corey Hart. That was a mistake. You got to take advantage of the mistakes, and Corey Hart able to do that. He got a hanging slider from Lance Lynn last night and hit it out of here to center.
2-out RBI single for Corey Hart. 1-0 Brew Crew on their 3rd hit of the inning. Hart extends his hitting streak to 11 games with that single. And now Rickie Weeks. Over his last 25 games, Weeks is hitting .284. Has 3 homers, 16 RBIs in that 25-game stretch. Swinging the bat more like Rickie Weeks. That one's hit hard to right field. Backing up on it, Carpenter. He's there to make the catch. Inning is over, but Corey Hart, one of 3 Brewers hits. He delivers a 2-out RBI single. The Brewers have the early lead tonight. Leading off with a single, and our friends from NHK televising this game in Japan. Here's how Hideki Sugioka called it in Japan, Rock.
打席での意識も1打席ごとに変わる青木。低めのボール打って抜けました。第1打席でヒットが出ました青木出塁。
Nice. Way to go, Hideki. What he said was his
Base hit to center.
Nori Aoki has now reached base in 20 consecutive games.
Didn't sound real excited about it.
Well, it's early where he's building into the moment. Say hello to our friends from NHK, and we've had them televise a few Brewers games. Great guys. Always love catching up with these guys.
Yeah, the media that follows Aoki, very friendly folks. We've gotten to know him pretty good.
Yeah, it's been very enjoyable, and quite a personality, Nori Aoki. Enjoyed getting to know him. 0-2 the count on Freeze as he bangs one into right field, a base hit. He is such a good hitter.
And he loves to use right field. An 0-2 fastball, a mistake by Randy Wolf, and he can't make mistakes at his Cardinals team. 0-2 fastball, you can see the location, up in the zone and away. You get that ball down and away, a little different result. But up and away, and that's what David Freese will do to you.
Second hit for the Cardinals. With 2 on in the first inning, Wolf was able to get a double play out of Carlos Beltran to end the inning. Here's Yadier Molina. Well, a big void left by Albert Pujols offensively for the Cardinals, but they have covered it and then some with Carlos Beltran and everybody else elevating their game. And they've done all of this without Lance Berkman for the most part this year. He was in the lineup early, then went out with a knee injury. He is back now, but he is not starting once again here tonight.
No, he's not starting because of Randy Wolf. Berkman has struggled against Randy Wolf in his career. Much better left-handed hitter is Berkman than right.
We saw Berkman yesterday pinch hit in the 9th inning, and he flew out, and most likely will be in the starting lineup tomorrow. But the Cardinals have put together the #1 offense in the National League without the benefit of Albert Pujols. And you look at a guy like Yadier Molina, who has flourished in this offense this year. He's always been a good hitter, but he's having a career year offensively this year.
And he's already hit more home runs this year than he has in his career. I mean, 14 that he hit last year was a career high. He's got 15 already.
15 homers, 48 runs batted in for Molina, and hitting .311 to begin play today. Slow curve on the ground to Weeks, and his only play is first base. So Freese will advance. Molina is retired. A good pitch by Randy Wolf to get the first out.
And it does seem like Yadier Molina is running as good as we've ever seen him run down the bases. Feeling good, swinging the bat well, and hustling down to first base.
That is Matt Carpenter. Carpenter, an infielder by trade, but enough of a bat that Matheny has given him a shot in the outfield. Well, you look at Matt Carpenter, it's hard to believe that as an amateur player, as a college player, he weighed 250 pounds. He looks lean right now. He got dedicated to get himself in shape. Played his college ball at TCU. Played for his dad down in Fort Worth at TCU. A pretty versatile guy, Matt Carpenter. The Cardinals have a lot of those players. Guys can play a number of different positions. Last night, Carpenter went from right field to third base in the game.
And Mike Matheny had guys all over the place last night, late in the ball game, all able to get the job done. And kind of players you need in the National League, that's for sure.
Fly ball to Braun for out #2. Carpenter is retired.
Hey, on July 27th, join the Brewers as they strike out ALS. For just $149, you'll get an all-inclusive Gale Club ticket and a limited edition print signed by Yovani Gallardo. Call 414-902-GAME or visit brewers.com/giveback.
2 outs for Tyler Greene, St. Louis's second baseman tonight. Last night, Skip Schumacher started at second. Schumacher, a left-handed hitter. So Greene gets the call this evening. Greene sends one to left. That is down the line, fair or foul. That is a foul ball, barely. Plenty of distance but just got out in front of it enough to go foul.
And a meeting at the mound. Randy Wolf immediately calling Kataris out to the mound to have a chat. A cut fastball that Randy left right down the middle of the plate, and Greene nearly hit it out of here. Not by much. Couple of feet.
So Wolf goes back in there. Looked like a changeup. And 2 balls and 1 strike on Tyler Greene. No relation to Taylor Greene, who is back in AAA Nashville for the Brewers. Right off the end of the bat, Cesar Izturis. And Randy Wolf has put 2 scoreless on the board against the Cardinals. Out of this game, Matt Carpenter will move from right field to left field as Mike Matheny reconfigures his outfield. John Jay is in center field now, and that moves Carlos Beltran over to right. Matt Holliday was hit by a pitch in the first inning, and Randy Wolf caught him in the knee, and Holliday hobbled to first. Tried to hang in there for an inning and a half, but out he goes, Ron.
Yeah, see where it got him. I mean, he had a that knee was straight out. He had it dug into the ground and really nowhere to go, and it hit him right on the bone, and you know that hurt. So the Cardinals are going to play it safe with him, get some ice on it, and that hurt all the way up from here.
Yeah, that did not sound good.
No.
Drew Olson is our reporter tonight, and when a report becomes available on Holliday, we'll pass it along. George Kataris will lead off in the Brewers' second against Joe Kelly, the young right-hander. Kataris hitting .225, has 3 homers, 12 RBIs. Most of that damage came early in the season.
Awfully difficult to stay sharp at the plate when you're not playing a whole lot. And he was able to do that early in the year, but that's the kind of thing that is difficult. You know, you go through spring training, you're playing just about every day, you're getting consistent at bats, and that's about the time when George Kataris, when the season started, he was really swinging the bat well. A lot of time on the bench makes it difficult.
Skies one out to center. John Jay, his first chance, and he hauls it in for the out. Kataris retired. Now a reminder that this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, the AL Central leading White Sox head to Detroit. White Sox Tigers, great division rival there. Fox Saturday Baseball beginning at 2:30 p.m. Central. It's only on Fox. White Sox continue to set the pace in the Central Division. I think everybody felt the Tigers were going to run away with that division with the kind of roster they have and the kind of lineup they have. But that has not been the case. The White Sox have a 2.5 game lead over the Tigers to start play today. But Detroit is playing much better. They've won 8 of their last 10.
It's going to be a good race all the way down the stretch. You know, the Cleveland Indians still feel as though they're in contention at 3 back.
Cesar Izturis, the former Cardinal, bounces one for call or out number 2. Well, the American League is tightly bunched right now. There are a ton of teams that are in it, and pretty much of the 14 teams in the American League, you could say 11 of them are all right there with a chance. There are 11 teams in the American League that are over 500 or at 500.
And 5 of them are in the American League East.
Yeah, the Blue Jays are in dead last in the American League East at 45 and 45.
Yankees are 21 games over 500.
Yankees have the largest division lead of any of the divisions in the major leagues at 9 games over the Orioles. Tightest division is right here in the National League Central, with the Reds up a game on the Pirates, 3.5 on the Cardinals, and 8 games up on the Brew Crew. Well, we're set up for a wild finish across baseball, just like we had last year. You figure it's going to come right down to the end with the extra wild card spot. Trade deadline coming up at the end of the month here, July 31st. So there will be some frantic phone calls made and players changing teams. See what kind of impact it has as Wolf slices one foul.
How about the Cubbies all of a sudden?
Cubs are rolling under Dale Swain.
Yep, 4 in a row. 36 and 52. They won 7 of their last 10.
That Cubs swept the Arizona Diamondbacks. I believe they've won 11 of their last 15 games. 2-2 to Wolf. Missed inside does Kelly. Now it's 3-2. Full slate of games today in Major League Baseball. Cubs are hosting the Marlins tonight at Wrigley. Wolf over to first base, and Craig will take it himself. 1-2-3 inning for Joe Kelly. We head to the 3rd at Miller Park. 1-0 Crew.
third inning at Miller Park. Reporting from the sideline, I'm Drew Olson. Francisco Rodriguez has recorded just one save in a little more than a year with the Brewers, but he has a chance to match that perhaps as soon as tonight. Before the game tonight, Brewers manager Ron Renneke announced that Francisco Rodriguez will be the closer, taking over for struggling John Axford. Axford will move to a setup role. He'll go to the bullpen with Rick Kranitz first and try to figure out his mechanics and get back into the groove that he showed last season during a record-setting 2011. But guys, Francisco Rodriguez is not new to this rodeo. He is 24th on the all-time saves list with 292 saves. He's also thrown 5 straight scoreless outings. The Brewers are just anxious to see what will happen with K-Rod in the ninth tonight if it comes around.
Yeah, we'll see. K-Rod certainly relishes that role pitching in the ninth inning. And historically good as a big league closer, Francisco Rodriguez still has the single season saves record in Major League Baseball.
It's nice to have those options, isn't it? You have a closer that's struggling, and then you put a guy in there that's close to nailing down his 300th save.
Well, John Axford back to the workshop, according to his manager, to try to put some of the pieces together. And I asked Renneke today how he would be used in the bullpen. He is not available tonight. That's for sure, because he's pitched in 3 of the last 4 games. But he said he'll pitch in leverage situations, and that could be in the 5th, 6th inning if a starter is having trouble getting through it and it's a big moment in the game, or he could pitch in the 8th. He doesn't want to define him as a setup man, but he will still be a valued pitcher down there. And the idea is that you try to get Axford back, get his confidence together, and you're hoping he can eventually return to that role.
And I think the Brewers are expecting that that's going to be the case. As you figure, with K-Rod a free agent, he's probably going to be gone after the year, and then you hope that John Axford can right this ship, get back into that closer's role, and then the Brewers would be set again for next year. By no means have they given up on the Axeman. He just has to, like you said, get back to the drawing board and figure some things out and take him out of that pressure spot in the game.
There's a swing and a miss. Joe Kelly strikes out. Pitaris will secure it at first. And Randy Wolf picks up his first strikeout of the ball game.
And so far, Randy Wolf has shown a pretty good breaking pitch tonight. For a lot of the season, he's been hanging his curveball up in the strike zone, missing with his fastball in on a right-handed batter. And Ron Renneke will tell you that that fastball into righties is a very important pitch for Randy Wolf. But so far, he's been able to keep the curveball down in the zone. Good sign.
So 1 gone, back to the top of the order, and Rafael Furcal. Furcal, a switch hitter. He popped up to right center in his first at bat to start the ball game tonight. Furcal hitting .275. One of 6 Cardinals at the All-Star game last Tuesday in Kansas City. Furcal, the starting shortstop. That was a huge pickup for the Redbirds last year. They made 2 big trades, one acquiring some bullpen help with Octavio Dotel and Mark Zepchinski, and that really changed the way their bullpen was set up. And then the trade with the Dodgers to get Furcal. So many questions with Furcal when he arrived in St. Louis. Was he going to be able to stay healthy? And he did, and he was an impact player for the Cardinals all the way through their postseason. And he draws the walk. So a base runner, Randy Wolf back in the stretch with a man on. Carsoup.com email the booth question, Rock. Patrick in Janesville asks, who do you think is the best team in the National League right now?
Right this minute?
This very moment.
Okay. Well, the best record in the league is the Washington Nationals. But right now, I think the Atlanta Braves are playing some pretty good baseball. 8-2. Their last 10, and they won 7 in a row. With the help of a former Brewer, Ben Sheets.
Sheets was the starter and the winner on Sunday.
Yes, right now, right today, and 7-game winning streak for the Atlanta Braves. But I think the Washington Nationals have enough to continue this nice stretch. Let's see what they do with their young pitchers.
By the way, the right now scoring update, I don't want to influence your decision at all, but the Giants lead the Braves 9-0, being one hit by Barry Zito. It's early, though. It's only the 5th inning.
Are you disagreeing with me?
I'm just saying.
It's okay if you do.
If we were going right now.
Well, who do you pick?
I like the Braves. I think the Cincinnati Reds are a very good team. And I think the Reds, if you peel another layer off of it, they have enough to go make a pretty significant deal. They have enough in their minor league system. There's so much talent in their minor league system. You've heard about Billy Hamilton, if you're a baseball fan, the base stealing wonder who's now in AA with Cincinnati. He's got a chance to set the all-time record for stolen bases in a season, major league or minor league. He's on a pace to steal 150 bases. I know he had 108 after 83 games.
Wow. And the impressive thing about that, to be able to steal that many bases, get on base that much, right? And get on base that much and not have a base clogger in front of you.
He's a shortstop, Hamilton. They also have Didi Gregorius, the Reds do, so they have some pieces that teams are looking for. I think the Cardinals have the best lineup, best offense in the National League.
Yeah, they can hit, no question.
Alan Craig just soft serves one into left field, a base hit. That looked pretty similar to his game-winning hit last night.
He hasn't been hitting the ball all that hard, but he's been having good success. 3 consecutive at-bats with base hits. And Craig keeps that bat in the hitting zone a long time, a good approach, and that's what you get when you don't have that quick in and out of the strike zone swing. Craig able to muscle it into left field. There's an 0-2 curveball from John Axford. They go-ahead run at second base. That was an 0-2 pitch. And Craig on a curveball that almost hit him in the chin. Able to give the Cardinals a win last night.
2 more hits today for Alan Craig. John Jay drops a bunt down, foul. Now, this is where the knee injury to Matt Holliday hurts the Cardinals a little bit. Jay not in the starting lineup because of the left-handed starter and Randy Wolf. Holliday is out with that hit by pitch. And John Jay will have to face the left-hander. Randy Wolf hit Holliday in the first inning. Tried to stay in, but was taken out in the bottom of the second as Jay takes strike 2 from Wolf. Jay's been a struggling hitter. His numbers are 296, which overall is not bad, but lately hasn't been the same kind of hitter for the Cardinals.
It gives you an idea how good he was going before he started to struggle. 296 and a struggling hitter.
Has 2 homers, 12 RBIs. It was his success last year that afforded the Cardinals to trade Colby Rasmus to the Blue Jays and pick up that bullpen help. Slow curve, missed. Not by much.
57 miles an hour. Check that out. They call it the gravity ball.
Might have fooled the home plate umpire Brian Gorman with that one. Two and 2 to Jay. Back to a fastball. Jay rips it down the left field line. Braun able to cut it off. That's going to save 1 run, but 1 scores. We're all tied at 1 as Jay sitting on the fastball with an RBI double.
Then got one up in the strike zone and able to slap it down the left field line. And John Jay just broke an 0 for 11 stretch with a base hit to score a run. Man, pitch up. Every time you seem to make a mistake to this Cardinal offense, they make you pay. He wanted it away, he wanted it down and away, but he got it upstairs. And Jay with a good approach, able to slice it inside the left field line.
Braun did a nice job to cut that off. If it goes to the wall, pretty good chance Craig's going to score. For the time being, just one in. All tied at 1. Beltran takes a big rip. Beltran, the switch hitter, as a right-handed batter, he's hitting .260. .303 as a left-handed hitter. Five of his 20 homers have come right-handed. Oh, and 2 to count. Beltran not in the starting lineup last night. Mike Matheny saying he needed to get him a day off. Said he really could have used the All-Star break. But of course honored to be selected, and he went back to Kansas City, the team that drafted him and developed him. Sends one in the air, shallow right center. Gomez will take it. Footwork a little bit messed up. Here's the throw to the plate. Hart cuts it off. Goes to third. They get the out, but the run scores. So Hart cuts it off. Would have been a close play at the plate, but the Brewers do get an out, and the inning ends. However, the Cardinals now have a lead 2-1. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Tuesday night in Milwaukee, the Cardinals now have the lead 2-1. Matt Holliday taken out of this game. For an update, we hear from Drew Olson.
Well, B.A., there's, as usual, a lot of Cardinals fans here, and even though their team took the lead last inning, they're a little subdued because Matt Holliday left the game with what they're calling a left thigh contusion. Looked like that pitch hit him on the knee, but it was a left thigh contusion, and John Jay got the base hit. Rock, what is it about the Cardinals that their bench guys always seem to come through? Well, Nightmares, Craig Paquette, So Taguchi, Joe McEwing.
So Taguchi reference.
There you go. Well, it's a talented group. I mean, when you have veterans on your bench, I mean, you look at the bench here tonight. Skip Schumacher, Lance Berkman. You got John Jay, who's been around. Descalso's had some big league time. And when you can call on guys that have been in the big leagues, they've been there, done that, and you know they're not, let's say, like a rookie would perhaps be, like a deer in headlights up there late in the game in a big situation. And that's what the benefit. That's the benefit that the Brewers had down the stretch last year with all the veterans that they had coming off the bench.
Well, it looked like with Holiday out, the matchup favored the Brewers with Randy Wolf against John Jay, a lefty on lefty matchup. And John Jay delivered with a 2-strike hit that carried the inning forward. And the Cardinals were able to add one more run, so they lead 2-1 now. Norichika Aoki leads off for the Brew Crew here in the third. He singled and scored in the first inning. He's reached base in 20 consecutive games. He's hit 19 of those 20.
It's kind of an interesting play to end the top of the third inning with that fly ball that looked like a relatively routine play for Aoki. Gomez, clearly with the better of the two throwing arms, decided to take it, but kind of a little bit of indecision. He wasn't able to get himself in position to throw. Didn't make a very good throw to home plate, but Corey doing a nice job on the fly, able to get the out at third.
Aoki draws the walk. And a man on to start the third inning. Well, a reminder that Brewers Live is going on the road this weekend to celebrate family fun at Wisconsin Dells. Jerry Augustine will be in a Speedo along with Craig Kashawn for a first-hand experience at the Dells. And it all starts Friday at 5:30 live from Marley's and continues Saturday and Sunday live from Noah's Ark Water Park.
That Speedo thing's not on the card. I'm going to pretend you didn't say that.
I don't know. I just read the card. Remember a few years ago, Craig broke out the abs, broke out the six-pack on us?
Yeah.
There's a shot backhanded at second by Greene, and he will be unable to turn a double play. His Turris, or rather, for call, was wiped out by Aoki. And that forced Craig off the bag at first base.
Yeah, good hard baseball by the Brewers a couple of times now, breaking up a double play. For Cole trying to get as much on it as he can. I mean, and throw a little bit out of sync because he's trying to get out of the way of Aoki. Look how far away from second base he is when he ends up throwing that baseball. I don't think Aoki ever made contact with him, did he? You got to make contact if you're going to be called out of the baseline.
And Furcal was looking down at Aoki and then looking at the second base umpire Tony Randazzo as if to say he's nowhere near the bag.
Didn't touch him though, did he?
Not at all.
Right, got to touch him.
And now a throw gets away that bounces into the seats. And Gomez, who does not know that, is racing around the bags just for the fun of it. Back to second, he'll be sent.
I thought he would just continue around third, around home, around first, and then get to second that way. That's a moment you would expect out of Gomez. A big lead, a very quick move by Kelly, but he spikes it in front of Craig. Look at Gomez. You ever see a guy like to run more than him?
Yeah, if you could run like that, why wouldn't you, right? Wouldn't you love to see Gomez in some kind of NFL combine setting? We tracked him earlier this year. He caught a ball in left center, and it was exactly 40 yards from where he was positioned to where he caught the ball. And with a glove on, running after a baseball, we clocked him at 4.6, a 4.640.
Yeah.
And that's crashing into a wall. You can imagine what he could do.
Yeah, he's something else.
Rickie, just a quick visit to make sure that Gomez should not have been placed at third base. He didn't win that argument. But he is in scoring position now for Braun with one out. Bouncer to first. Craig to Kelly for out number 2. Braun's had some chances in this game to drive in runs. He's 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position.
Man, Kelly's been saving his best for Ryan Braun, and why wouldn't you, right? A good slider his first time up. And that pitch right on the outside corner and down around the knees.
So he'll leave it up to Aramis Ramirez. Milwaukee did get a 2-out RBI single from Corey Hart in the first inning. And Ramirez looks to do the same here in the third. Bouncing ball through the infield. A base hit. Ramirez drives in Gomez. All tied at 2.
2-out single to left. One by Corey Hart. Now Ramirez. And the Brewers back to even. You see where that pitch was? That pitch bore it in on his hands. Down in the strike zone. Clearly off the inside corner. But Ramirez was able to get the bat on it and drive in Gomez, who got into scoring position because of the error.
I was watching Ramirez take batting practice today, and it's so impressive the way he turns on pitches inside, and the ability to keep it fair. You know, a lot of times a right-handed hitter will pull the ball down the left field line and it has a hook on it.
Right.
Ramirez does have a hook, but it's minimal.
Got to keep the hands in. The hands have to lead the barrel of the bat. If you do that, you have a chance to keep it fair. If you get that bat head out in front of the hands, it's just going to go foul every time.
Now Corey Hart with Ramirez at first.
Now we have done instructionals on that.
Yeah,
I
remember.
You weren't watching.
That's why I brought it up. I thought you might be able to reference your instructionals.
You wanted me to mention it? Okay. We actually had a tee out one time demonstrating that.
A batting tee.
Right.
Not like a hot cup of tea.
No, or a golf tee.
Well, put that one in the kitty. That might be one to revisit for those who didn't see it the first time. Those of us who are involved in post-game prep reaction, like finalizing, summarizing what we've seen here today.
Car packing.
There'll be another instructional tonight with Rock and Jerry Augustine.
You know what's interesting about tonight's on Tuesdays? The
Twitter Tuesday.
Fans Twitter in to get some ideas.
Fans tweet in.
Tweet in.
Yeah.
Give us ideas on instructionals. Now, the thing about tonight's instructional, we have two young baseball players. They're going to join us. They're about 10 years old. 11. So when you're tweeting in,
right,
make sure we can incorporate the two kids.
You'll have a couple of pre-tweeters for your tweeted instructional tonight. Swing and a miss. Hart strikes out. And the inning is over, but Aramis Ramirez ties it. And we're all even at 2 going to the 4th. Gomez, he is back at 100%. Had a hamstring injury earlier this year. We saw a great catch from him yesterday in the first inning. Actually, 2 terrific catches. Took one away from Matt Holliday in the first inning yesterday as well. Gomez starting to swing the bat better, using the opposite field, and of course his legs are what makes him go. And when he's running like this and bunting like this, he is a major weapon for Ron Rickie.
I talked to Gomez around the batting cage yesterday, and he says he is 100% and nothing holding him back now. And this is proof of it. Ball goes into the seats. You got to stay at second, but Gomez doesn't know that. Just keeps going. It's easy to get him started, but it's tough to stop him.
Now Gomez in the starting lineup, batting second tonight. He has reached on an infield hit and scored a run as David Freese whistles one back up the middle, a base hit out to Gomez. Freese is 2 for 2. Now remember, we were telling you we put the clock on Gomez during the last homestand, and he ran down a ball at the wall, and look how far Gomez goes, and we had it at exactly 40 yards. Chris Withers was out there stepping it off, as a matter of fact. And so we put the clock on him just to see. And a great catch, one of the best of the year, and he pulled a 4.68 40.
They don't have a wall out there like that in the combine. They give you an opportunity to stop.
Truly ran into the middle linebacker.
Maybe they should do that.
Yeah, that would be, that would make me want to watch the NFL combine.
Right.
Put some hazards out there. Now, there was always that discussion. Gomez from the Dominican Republic, and had he grown up in the States, perhaps he would have gravitated to football, because he's a lot bigger than most people realize. He's 6'4" and goes 225 and runs like that. In baseball, they don't do 40-yard dashes, they do 60-yard dashes for some reason. Molina drives one to right. Aoki back at the wall and reaches up at the last moment to haul it in. He got turned around, but he's able to snatch one out of the air.
I think he just threw his glove out there, and he found the baseball. The baseball found Nori. I don't think it was the other way around. Nice effort by Norichika Aoki, making an adjustment out there, spinning around the wrong way, and able to make the catch right in front of that right field fence.
You could tell Aoki is not pleased with the way he caught that ball. This is a proud defender. He won 6 Gold Gloves in Japan for the Yakult Swallows, and he was shaking his head after that route. In his defense, that ball had some pretty significant slice on it, though, off the bat of Molina.
Yep.
Wasn't a normal flight.
But he made the catch. He'd be shaking his head a lot more had he not caught it.
Yes, he would. Matt Carpenter with a man at first, and he hits out hard to center. Gomez on the run, and will run it down with ease. Got a great jump. 2 outs in the inning. Time now to take a look at our Jimmy John's high-speed delivery. Joe Kelly's been as fast as 97, and he did that in the first inning. Randy Wolf topping out at 91. So 2 outs, Freese still at first, and it's Tyler Greene at the plate. And a strike call. Greene bounced out to end the second inning with a runner at second base. Strike 2. Cardinals still trying to settle in on a second baseman. They've had a bit of a revolving door out there. Skip Schumacher and Tyler Greene. That's the lefty-righty combination. They've also used Daniel Descalso. He's played the most at second, as a matter of fact. Matt Carpenter's even played a game at second base.
It's not bad when you just have one position in flux. Second base has been an issue for the Cardinals for a while. Moving parts.
I remember Adam Kennedy played second base. You don't think about that stable second base position in a St. Louis Cardinal uniform.
Right. Tommy Herr was there for a while.
Yeah, that's a good name. I was thinking about some names. Cardinal lore. They had one of the greatest second basemen of all time ever, the Hall of Famer Rogers Hornsby, who was.
That was a while ago.
We're going way back in the Wayback Machine. A foul ball. What, you didn't see Rogers Hornsby play, Rob?
I did not. No, heard about him.
He's buried about 20 minutes from where I grew up down in Texas. In a place, believe it or not, called Hornsby's Bend.
How about that?
Del Valley, Texas, south of Austin. Not that I'm hanging around the cemetery, but, you know, it's kind of interesting that a baseball legend.
You're a baseball guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I do the same.
No, you wouldn't.
Not in Austin. Not in Texas.
Creeping around the graveyards.
Yeah.
Looking for Hall of Famers.
Looking for somebody who played baseball. You're right. I wouldn't. Just trying to be nice.
I know. You're a very nice fella. Especially on Twitter Tuesday. On his best behavior today. At Brewers Fan Camp. Oh, man. Good catch up here. The crowd reacts.
Hey, ladies, August 18th is Brewers All Access for Women presented by Associated Bank. The event includes a game ticket, tailgate party, and an exclusive program. Learn more at brewers.com/access.
2-2 to Greene. Got him. Randy Wolf strikes him out. Puts up a 0 in the fourth. It's 2-2. We head to the bottom of the fourth.
Up with the crew in the community, and I have a live guest with me, Ben Rouse. You probably recognize him, 25-year-old leukemia survivor that is here as part of Mission 162. Ben, it's your 90th game. You're just coming off the All-Star break. How are you feeling in your quest to attend every Brewers game this year?
I mean, I'm feeling good. I've missed, I think, 63 pitches so far. I haven't missed a single game, but you know, the All-Star game was a nice break. I slept in a few days, and you know, I'm back at it and ready for the next 72 games.
Now, you're a season ticket holder here. What's your favorite park on the road?
I mean, PNC Park. I've been there. I was there in 2006, 2008, 2010. I was actually at that 20-0 game that the Brewers had. That was fun to see. And, you know, you've got the Roberto Clemente Bridge in the back, and it's just a really great park to watch a baseball game.
Are you tired of hot dogs, or are there any songs that are particularly tiring to you being at the ballpark for the first 89 games of the season?
No, I mean, I still sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." It's still fun at all the different parks. They all sing it. I'm not sick of sausages yet. The count is up to 71. I think like 30 of those are hot dogs, 25 Polish sausages, which is my favorite. So, yep, keeping it going.
How many miles have you traveled to date?
Right now, it's about 25,600. And that includes flight miles, driving miles, riding miles, and public transit miles.
You're doing this to raise awareness for BeTheMatch.org, and you also have, since it's Twitter Tuesday and Rock loves Twitter, you can tell people about your Twitter handle.
So my Twitter handle is @brew_mission162, and I tweet about the games. I also sometimes have an extra ticket, and I ask people for a donation of maybe $30, and then they can come to a game with me. Tomorrow, I actually don't have someone to come to the game with me, so I'm hoping there's someone out there that wants to come to a game, and the money goes to Be the Match, which is the National Bone Marrow Donor Registry.
Well, Ben, we hope we can get you a date right here, I know what that's like from my single days. We'll try. And Ben, Be the Match, once again, what's your Twitter handle? It's Twitter Tuesday, after all.
I do have a girlfriend. I'll put that in there. @brew_mission162.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Rickie Weeks with a home run, giving the Brewers a 3-2 lead, and no doubt about that one.
Rickie hit the ball hard his first time up in the right field. And this time able to center on one. Rickie Weeks put a charge into that baby. That fastball up in the zone, and I think Joe Kelly knew it right away. It had that sound, and Rickie, when he hits them, they stay hit.
Leads off the 4th inning, and our thanks to Ben. It's a great story, and he's doing great work as Weeks just uncorks. 9th home run of the season for Weeks. That gives him 33 RBIs.
High off that scoreboard for Rickie.
Good to see Rickie smiling again. It doesn't give you much reaction one way or the other. You'd never know. He's been mired in the longest slump of his career prior to the last 3 weeks or so.
You can't smile when you hit a ball like that. You're never going to smile.
Slow roller. Craig shovels one over to first, and Kelly is there for him for out number 1. Tatarus is retired.
The reaction from Rickie Weeks, I guarantee what they're asking. Did you get all that one?
A little bit off the end of the bat, he says.
I got some more for you.
Nobody can hit him as hard or as far as Rickie Weeks. And all you have to do is ask Ryan Braun about that. Braun has always been impressed with the power of Rickie Weeks. Cesar Izturis now with one away. Brewers back on top, 3-2. Back up the middle is Izturis with a base hit.
And Kelly getting a lot of the plate with his pitches here tonight. Brewers are banging out 7 base hits. Good job by Izturis staying on that baseball. That had some sink to it. Stayed right on it. Didn't try and pull it.
Izturis with his first hit. Brewers are using 3 shortstops right now. Izturis and Cody Ransom and Jeff Bianchi. And all can play other positions in the infield. But that is a 3-man weave at that position. Randy Wolf drops a bunt. Molina snatches it to second for 1. The turn in time. Nobody better behind the plate than Yadier Molina, and he showed that gold glove form right there. Quick as a cat. That was some kind of play. Rickie Weeks puts the Brewers on top. It's 3-2 Milwaukee through 4.
with a 3-2 lead, courtesy of a Ricky Weeks home run. And tonight's time of the game winner, Mountain View Golf Course in Friendship. That's south of Wisconsin Rapids. If they call the Brewers in the next 24 hours, they get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
And our AT&T trivia question tonight: which Brewers hitter is the fastest in games played to reach 100 hits in a season? Some pretty familiar names on that list. Ryan Braun with 100 hits already this year.
100 hits in 89 games. He got his 100th hit.
Brewers back on top as we head to the 5th inning on the Ricky Weeks home run. 3-2 Milwaukee. Joe Kelly will lead off the St. Louis pitcher, and he takes a strike from Randy Wolf. Interesting that Kelly pitches with glasses on, but hits without them.
Right. You would think you need the glasses to hit.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm sure Yadier Molina is happy that he wears the glasses out on the mound.
As are everyone who hits against him. Well, he's seeing those curveballs pretty well. 2-2 the count. Kelly does have one hit. He's 1 for 10. He's been in the big league since early June. And Randy Wolf strikes him out. Second time he has struck him out. Wolf now with 3 strikeouts for the game. And we go back to the top of the order now. 3rd time through the batting order against Wolf. Starting with Rafael Furcal. Furcal walked and scored in the 3rd. Scored the tying run at the time. Cardinals would later take the lead in that inning on a sac fly from Beltran. But the Brewers tied it in the bottom of the 3rd. Ramirez with an RBI single. And then Weeks hit the home run last inning to put him back ahead. Furcal into shallow left. Braun will take this one on a bounce. Furcal with a base hit. His 2nd of the series.
Another pitch up by Randy Wolf. Furcal didn't hit it all that hard. I mean, not too many ringing, hard hit base hits by the Cardinals, but the fact that that fastball is up in the strike zone, you can see right here, Furcal gets it down on a trademark, but able to muscle it over the head of Izturis because it's up in the zone. Get that ball down, might be a ground ball.
One gone with Furcal at first for Alan Craig. Furcal a threat to steal. He has 11 this year. Craig has 2 hits. Neither one of them hit all that hard, but he's deposited 2 into left field and scored a run. That one's hit pretty hard. Wolf snatches it up to second for 1. Weeks the turn and double play. Beautifully turned double play and beautifully started by Randy Wolf. Fielding his position well on the comebacker from Craig. It goes 1, 4, 3. And Randy Wolf with another 0 on the board. 3-2 Brew Crew as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin tonight. Second game of the series between the Brewers and the Cardinals. Third meeting this year between these teams. Third series. Brian Anderson with Bill Schroeder and Drew Olson with us this evening. Chris Withers and Kevin Shank manning the operations in the trucks, and our great crew here in Milwaukee. Nori Aoki will lead off. I mentioned Aoki on base 20 consecutive games, and a correction, he has actually had hits in 18 of those 20, not 19 of the 20. Beg your pardon. On base twice tonight, a single in the first, and he walked in the third.
They can pretty much track the success of the Brewers offense to Aoki's production at the top of the order, getting on base in front of Braun and Ramirez and Corey Hart.
Little flare slicing into left center. Jay runs it down for the out.
It gives you exactly what you need at the top of the order. A guy that can hit both lefties and righties, doesn't strike out much, puts the bat on the baseball, and he can run.
And Aoki has hit his way into an everyday job with the Brewers, whether it be right field or center field, and a 2-year deal for him. So Brewers have him under contract for this season and next. Carlos Gomez with one out. He has been very busy today. Gomez had an infield bunt single in the first inning. Reached on a fielder's choice in the third, and then scored the second run. And just about the time you think Gomez is one of those guys, those scrappy players that drops bunts down and runs the bases well, which he does, he hits one into the seats. He has big power. He still hasn't quite zeroed in as a hitter yet, but he can hit him a long way. Not that time. Popped him up, and for call for out number 2. Take you back to our AT&T trivia. Which Brewers hitter is the fastest in games played to reach 100 hits in a season?
How about Coop? Nope, Ryan Braun.
Yeah, Ryan Braun back in 07, his rookie of the year season. Needed just 70 games to reach 100 hits. Of course, he wasn't in the major leagues until late May. And he's never stopped hitting, Ryan Braun. Cooper's on that list, though, among the fastest to reach.
Yeah, Coopy had some big years with the Brewers.
Cecil Cooper in 1980 reached the 100 hit plateau in game 73. Courtesy of Brian Michalogic. Braun 70, and then Paul Molitor twice reached 100 hits in game 71. Molitor did it in 91 and 87. And then Cecil Cooper, and here's a name for you, Rock. Brady Clark in 2005.
Yeah, Brady.
At 100 hits in 74 games.
Hit 300 one year for Milwaukee.
Ball and 2 strikes to Braun. And he foul tips one in and out of the mid of Molina. And since Braun's major league debut among active players, leads in total bases and extra base hits. Third in runs and slugging, and in the top 5 in most of the major offensive categories. In that year 07, when he won the Rookie of the Year, MVP last year.
And as far as run production, off to one of his best starts.
Takes a called strike 3, fires the bat and the helmet, and side retired.
Game brought to you by GMC. The Brewers got a run in the first inning on a Corey HART base hit, plating Nori Aoki, and that lasted until the third. A double and a sac fly. The Cardinals took a 2-1 lead until Aramis Ramirez banged out a single with 2 outs. At the plate, the tying run, and Rickie Weeks in the bottom of the 4th inning, a blast off the scoreboard out there in center field to give the Blue Crew a 3-2 lead as we head to the 6th.
Weeks with home run number 9 of the season. 1 for 2 tonight is Weeks. Randy Wolf back to work in the 6th inning against the Cardinals. Randy Wolf shut down St. Louis last year, game 4 of the NLCS. It was a very impressive performance by Randy Wolf and a much needed performance at the time. Wolf went 7 innings, only 1 run against the Cardinals in the LCS last year. Redeemed himself after a very rough start in the division series against the Diamondbacks. Not many pitchers throughout the postseason last year shut the Cardinals down or contain the Cardinals like Randy Wolf did.
Yes, they did. They really had good command that night in Busch Stadium. They tied that series at 2.
John Jay replacing Matt Holliday. He doubled and drove in a run in the 3rd inning. Slow roller to his turrets, and he hustles one over to first base. 1 gone in the 6th. Our Farmers Insurance report card tonight on Cardinal manager, former Brewer catcher Mike Matheny. Was with the Brewers in the late 90s. Outstanding defensive catcher, and then he ended up catching for the St. Louis Cardinals as well. He won 4 Gold Gloves. 3 of those came as a member of the Cardinals. The other one as a member of the Giants. And he takes over as the manager of the Cardinals, Rock, without any coaching or managing experience in the major leagues.
Yeah, tough seat for Matheny, coming off a World Series championship, replacing La Russa. But the Cardinals very happy with the way he's been able to get it done. Liked by the players. You're not going to find a tougher guy in all of baseball. And he was a catcher. Nobody tougher.
Beltran takes one inside, 2-1. Well, it is rare that you inherit a World Series winner. Typically, managers who win the World Series don't want to hang them up just yet. La Russa winning 2 World Series titles as a member of the Cardinals. And winning World Series in both leagues. Matheny was working in the Cardinals baseball operations last year. And familiar with the organization. And a perfect fit, according to their general manager, John Mozeliak.
Kind of a surprise hire. I think that one came from nowhere. Everybody throwing out names, including Jose Oquendo, their 3rd base coach, who continues to be over at 3rd base for the Cardinals.
Matheny said his offseason was spent on the phone a great deal, calling as Beltran strikes out. Randy Wolf punches him out for the 2nd out of the inning.
And a good cut fastball by Wolfie. Look at this, down and in. Beltran swings right over the top of it. Good pitch. That's where you want it. Off the inside corner and down. Hey, every Friday, high school and college students can purchase select tickets for half price, courtesy of Time Warner Cable. Visit brewers.com/students.
Here's David Freese now with 2 outs. What I was going to say about Matheny, he spent an offseason on the phone and just calling various coaches of all kinds, all sports, all kind of sports and sporting events, and directors, and just trying to get a feel for what it means to be in leadership. Not that he didn't have his own ideas, but he wanted to connect with those, including former Marquette coach Tom Crean. So he did his diligence. I think the two surprise hires this offseason was Matheny and Robin Ventura of the White Sox. Ventura has the White Sox at the top of the standings in the Central in the American League. Certainly the Cardinals are in it. St. Louis starts the day 3.5 back in the division. One and two to David Freese with 2 hits tonight. And Wolf strikes him out. Spots the inside corner. 1-2-3 inning for Randy Wolf. He's pitching a beauty tonight. 3-2. The Brewers have the lead courtesy of Rickie Weeks. And he'll bat when we come back. Please play responsibly. And buy the new Miller Lite Punch Top can. It's Miller time.
Hey, the first ever Brewers mini marathon is scheduled for September 22nd, helping support the MAC Fund, the scenic 13.1 mile route. Giveaways and post-race tailgate party are sure to make this the most unique half marathon in the area. Register today at www.race/brewers.com. Actually, race-brewers.com.
It's important.
Participate?
Nope.
Mini marathon?
No, I'm supporting it, but not participating.
And how are you going to support it?
I'm starting to run again, though.
You're going to throw some money at it?
I've been inspired by Cardinals announcer Dan McLaughlin. I'm starting to run again. As Aramis Ramirez takes a strike from Joe Kelly. How about on the road trip, Rock? You and I get out for a little jog.
I don't run.
Take it around the Queen City. Ramirez into right field. Back is Beltran. And he makes the catch for the out. Ball had some carry to it. A little more than Beltran thought.
Yeah. Ramirez doing a nice job taking that ball to the opposite field. Brewers have gotten some good swings off of Joe Kelly tonight. Only 6 hits, 3 runs. Pretty much the story for Joe Kelly. Quality starts 4 in a row. And he's pitched well here tonight.
Only 72 pitches as he works in the 6th inning. Corey Hart with a 2-out RBI single in the 1st inning. 2 of the 3 Brewers runs have come on 2-out hits. Hart and Ramirez. The 3rd run, the run that broke the 2-2 tie, was a home run by Weeks, and that started the 4th. Hart hitting .264, extending his hitting streak to 11 games with that single in the first. Strike called. 2-2 to Hart. Hart hitting near 400 during the streak, with 6 runs batted in over the 11 games.
Corey, one of those guys that can get real hot, very streaky hitter, and when he's in one of those good stretches, he can carry it for a while.
Drives that one to right, and Beltran is there at the track for the second out. That time now for our AT&T Uverse reverse replay, and we take you back to the 4th inning. Rickie Weeks leading off, and he bangs one deep into left center field, up into the stands below the Harley-Davidson deck. Home run number 9 for Weeks, and it put the Brewers on top. And it had some heat on it when it hit the stands up there.
Yeah, those are the kind of home runs that we see Rickie hitting batting practice every day.
It's always fun when he bangs one off the windows of the nice club. He's one of the few who can do that. There's a long way up there.
Yes, it is.
That would be the left field version of the dew deck up there in the nice club.
We've seen a couple hit up there in this stadium's history during the game, but not too many in batting practice either.
Unfortunately, the Giants scoreboard got in the way of Weeks's home run in the 4th, or else he might have had a chance to hit it all the way out of here into the parking lot.
Yeah. Hit up there.
Crashed down.
Not a bad shot.
He left a mark, it looks like. We'll just say that's where it hit.
That's an awfully big mark for a baseball.
Looks like somebody went skiing inside the P of the Pepsi sign.
That's about where it hit, though.
Full count, 2 outs on Rickie Weeks. And he strikes out. Looked like a changeup from Kelly. Took a little off at a 1-2-3 inning for the rookie. Toyota game summary. Corey Hart with a first inning RBI single. John Jay starting a rally in the third. He drove in the first Cardinal run, and then Carlos Beltran with a sac fly. That put the Redbirds ahead 2-1. Aramis Ramirez, the very next frame, tied it with an RBI single with 2 outs, and then Weeks bangs that one off the scoreboard, cascading down into the bleachers, and Weeks giving the Brewers the lead. 3-2. That's where we sit as we play in the 7th. Randy Wolf outstanding today so far. He's given up the 2 runs, which came in the 3rd. 6 strong against the heavy hitting St. Louis Cardinals.
And his pitch count in very good shape at 87 as we enter the 7th.
If you're just picking us up tonight, Ron Renicky making a change in the closer's role. John Axford is out as the Brewers closer. He is not available to pitch tonight. And Francisco Rodriguez is the new closer. And Renicky was saying as you get to the 9th inning, it's all going to be matchups concerning 3 pitchers: Manny Parra, Jose Veras, who's up and throwing now, and Cameron Lowe. And depending on the matchups coming up in the 7th and the 8th inning, there's no specific setup man like he had with Francisco Rodriguez. Not yet, anyway.
And that means you can go through a number of pitchers in 1 inning. And right now, because Tyler Thornburg is starting tomorrow, the Brewers are shorthanded already in the bullpen. And when you consider Axford not available tonight, we'll see how it works out.
There's Tyler Thornburg. He'll make his 2nd major league start tomorrow. And looking forward to see him back on the mound again. He'll be pitching in the spot vacated by Greinke. It's Molina into center field with a base hit.
Every hit's been like that, hasn't it, for the Cardinals? Not many hits have been hit very hard, but able to muscle baseballs into the outfield. You can see where Molina makes contact. You know, that shot on the left gets eaten up inside, but because it's upstairs, you can see it belt high, able to dump it into center field.
7 hits for the Cardinals, 6 of those singles. John Jay has the hardest hit ball of the day, that double down the left field line. As Matt Carpenter bats. Bottom of the order now for St. Louis. Carpenter hitting 7th. He's 0 for 2. Was 0 for 3 yesterday. Carpenter played a little first base in the absence of Lance Berkman. He's played third base, played in the outfield. Probably see Berkman in the starting lineup tomorrow to face Tyler Thornburg.
And Carpenter finished the game last night at third base and made the final out.
No balls, 2 strikes. Slow curve dumped into center field, a base hit. Two on to start the 7th for the Cardinals, and they're getting production from the bottom of their order.
A bunch of overhand lobs by this Cardinal offense right off the end of the bat this time, but once again, I mean, pitches up in the strike zone, breaking ball about mid-thigh high, and that's why Carpenter's able to dump it into center.
Tyler Greene with 2 on. We'll see if he is bunting, and Renicky is on his way to the mound, and Randy Wolf as if he is done for the game. We'll see. It's not always that Renicky makes a change when he goes to the mound.
It looks like Veras is ready out in that bullpen. He stopped throwing, just standing out there on the mound. Pitch counting in decent shape for Randy Wolf at 94. Looks like he's going to stay with him.
He talks his way in. So with a short bullpen, Randy Wolf able to talk his way into this game as he remains So Veras put on hold for the moment. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first for the Cardinals. Nobody out. The pitcher spot is due up next. And Lance Berkman has already moved into the on deck circle, and that might have affected the decision of Renicky. There is the bunt. Ramirez up with it. His only play is first. A sacrifice bunt for Tyler Greene. Both runners advance. And with the pitcher spot coming up, Matheny makes the change. And goes with his big bat, Lance Berkman.
I think this is one of the reasons why Randy Wolf stayed in the ball game. He knew that Greene was going to bunt. You'd rather have Berkman batting right-handed than have him swing around against Veras to bat left-handed. Much better left-handed hitter. And the fact that the numbers for Lance Berkman not very good against Randy Wolf.
You know, Wolf has held Lance Berkman to an .094 batting average throughout his career. 3 hits in 32 career at bats. And don't forget, these two were teammates in Houston. That includes 7 strikeouts of Lance Berkman. Berkman just coming back from knee surgery, activated Saturday. He started the game Sunday in Cincinnati. Was used as a pinch hitter last night and a pinch hitter tonight. Only has 47 at bats for the season. But his lone homer this year came as a pinch hitter. 2 balls and a strike.
I didn't miss by much right there. Good pitch by Wolf. He's been leaving pitches up in the strike zone in this inning, but kept that one down and didn't miss by a whole lot. Could have gone either way.
Fox Tracks had it just off the corner. 2-1. Big spot in the ball game for Randy Wolf. That one misses inside. 3 balls and a strike.
And what you don't want to do is walk this guy. Wolf has had a lot of success against him. We've documented that. Get him out, and then you probably bring in Veras.
Rafael Furcal is on deck. Another switch hitter. Strike called. And Berkman doesn't agree with that. 3-2.
Heck, the ball could have easily been called inside right there.
So Brian Gorman giveth and taketh away. And now it's 3-2. Infield is halfway in for the Brewers. 3-2 pitch, and Berkman spoils it foul. And saw Berkman ask Brian Gorman out. Was it out? The home plate umpire confirmed it. Umpires are pretty good about that, right? They'll tell you.
Most of the time.
Unless they're upset at you.
Unless you don't swing at it and they call it for a strike.
And then you say, that was out, right? We'll do it again. Another 3-2. Count stays at 3-2. One out in the 7th inning. Cardinals put 2 on to start the inning. On soft line drives from Molina and Carpenter. Berkman, did he go? Yes, he did. Brian Gorman rings him up. Great block back there by Kataris, and Berkman giving Gorman an earful. A huge strikeout for Randy Wolf.
An 8-pitch at bat, Randy Wolf and Lance Berkman. Wolfie falls behind 3-1. It's basically all fastballs and cutters to Lance Berkman. Now the count finally gets to 3-1. That 2-1 pitch pretty close. And this is where Lance Berkman thought he walked. It could have been called off the inside corner. Then a couple of foul balls on fastballs. And then the cutter to get him on pitch number 8, down and in. And not able to hold up. Yep, he went. Good call by Brian Gorman.
Didn't need to ask for an appeal. Rings him up on the swinging strike. And now RICKIE will make the change, the double switch. Randy Wolf 6 2/3 here today against the St. Louis Cardinals, and he'll exit with a chance to win. Jose Veras enters the game, and a nice hand for the left-hander on his way out. And it's interesting that he double switches with Ryan Braun, and apparently something is wrong with Ryan Braun. You see Nigel Morgan now in the game in right field. That moves Aoki over to left field. Drew Olson is down in the Brewers dugout. Do you have anything on Ryan Braun and why he would be taken out here, Drew?
Well, about an inning ago or so, I was in transit between the press box, so I'm not sure exactly what it was. Braun, he was chasing kind of a lazy fly ball, and it looked like he, was favoring his hip afterward or favoring his leg afterward. Not sure exactly what happened. We'll try to get word for you as soon as we can.
All right, well, it has to be some type of injury situation or illness. And good catch, Drew. Very surprising that Braun would be the one to come out, but certainly something is up with him as Jose Veras takes over. Also, during the pitching change, Lance Berkman was ejected and came back out on the field to argue. Second and third with 2 outs for Rafael Furcal as Veras inherits 2 of Randy Wolf's base runners.
Now Furcal able to swing around the left side where he becomes a dangerous hitter.
At this point, Randy Wolf 6 2/3 with 2 hits, or rather 2 runs allowed. A walk and 6 strikeouts for Randy Wolf. Got a nice ovation on his way out. He talked his way through 2 more hitters and able to strike out Lance Berkman. Now Veras 2-0 to Furcal. Ooh, he had a good cut.
And that's exactly why Ron Renneke left him in there. Knew that Tyler Green was going to bunt. Leave him in for the bunt and then get Berkman, who he's handled very well throughout his career. And he got the job done. And the only thing Berkman was upset about is the fact that Gorman, the home plate umpire, made the call on his own and didn't ask for help. I think that's what they were squawking about in that dugout.
Swing and a miss. Good fastball from Veras. 2-2 the count.
Yeah, good late life going away from Furcal, who tried to pull it. Pretty good speed out there at second base. You figure a base hit is going to score 2.
Another big pitch coming. Molina at third, Carpenter at second. 2-2. And a curveball missed. Berkman argued after the swinging strike call, went back to the dugout, continued to argue. Gorman threw him out. Then Berkman came back onto the field. Matheny had to break him up. Obviously, he was done for the game anyway. He was not going to stay in to play defensively after his pinch hit appearance. Full count. There is a base open at first. All-star shortstop Rafael Furcal at the plate. Fouls that one off his foot.
Yeah, a lot of times on a 3-2 count, Veras will go with the breaking ball, and that time able to throw it for a strike. Yeah, good job by Furcal, who got a bat on it because it was a little bit up in the zone.
We'll do it again. Another payoff pitch. Furcal fouls it back. He's hanging tough. Now this would be a breakthrough of sorts for Randy Wolf if the bullpen can take it the rest of the way. The bullpen has been in serious question lately. But Randy Wolf is in a position to win this game. He has not won since April 30th. Been a long drought for him. Another 3-2. Somehow Furcal fouls that off. It's amazing where he fouled that ball off.
And he fouled it off before it hit him.
That's right.
That curveball was coming right in on him.
He actually pulled that ball over the Brewers dugout. Something you might see on a cricket pitch. Pitch number 9. 2 on, 2 out. Veras deals. And a Tapper foul.
Jose Veras loves that curveball. He's thrown a number of them in this sequence. 3 of the last 4 pitches have been curveballs.
Getting started with back-to-back singles. Wolf retired the next 2 hitters. Now Veras. 3-2 pitch. Popped him up. Who wants it? Kataris in the infield. He's got it, and Veras gets out of it. Jose Veras strands 2. Brewers still lead 3-2.
Milwaukee, as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning here on Twitter Tuesday. Of course, our handles here, there's a bunch to get a hold of us here on Twitter. Mine at Craig Kashan, at FS Wisconsin, of course, at Brewers Fan Camp as well. And a lot of topics tonight surrounding the closers role. Big change coming up, of course, here starting with K-Rod potentially tonight. And also a lot of people want to know what the instructional is going to be as well, Rock. And we've got you covered here on all of our Twitter handles.
That's right, and on Twitter Tuesday, it's all about, fans determining what the instructional is going to be, and tonight it's going to be a rundown.
Nice. A rundown instructional. What will your role be exactly?
I know I won't be the runner. I might be one of the defenders. As Barrett Browning, his second appearance in this series. He pitched in yesterday's ball game, 8th appearance overall, and a 3.00 earned run average.
So Browning in for Joe Kelly, who went 6 innings in this game, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned. Martin Maldonado will bat for the Brew Crew. Maldonado hitting for Kataris. Ryan Braun is out of the game, and Drew Olson, our reporter tonight, thought he saw him come up a little short on a fly ball earlier. We've actually been able to track that down, and we'll show it to you. We're still waiting on official word from the Brewers clubhouse on Braun, but obviously Ron Renicky would not remove Ryan Braun from the game under any circumstances unless it was an injury or illness. But that was the double switch that was made. Brewers are at the bottom of their order as Maldonado pinch hits in the 7th spot in the batting order. Martin Maldonado had a hit last night against the Cardinals. It was 1 for 4. He takes a strike from Browning. Maldonado, then is Turris, followed by Niger Morgan. Two and two. Jonathan Lucroy is going to start a rehab assignment on Thursday in Appleton for the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers. There's Jonathan, the Brewers starting catcher. Had a broken hand. The hand is healed. He's been taking batting practice. All of the necessary catching drills. He's been working in the bullpen as well. So he'll start to play games on Thursday up the road in Appleton. The Brewers are off Thursday. It'll be a travel day, so a chance to go support the Brewers single A affiliate up in Appleton, the T-Rats. You can catch Ron Renicky's son, Lance Renicky. He's a member of that team as well. Fly ball, right field, slicing. And that'll be in the seats. And so here's what we found concerning Ryan Braun. This is in the 5th inning with Rafael Furcal at the plate. And Furcal with 1 out. Looked pretty benign at that point, but when you zero in on Braun, you see how he pulls up and he's limping. You know, he has been nursing right leg injuries throughout the year. It had been a groin strain. He had a hip injury on that right side. They don't know what it is, but something grabbed him there, and 2 innings later he's out of the game. Maldonado, it's knocked down by Browning. Nice play on the mound, and Martin Maldonado is retired.
Yeah, well, whatever it is, you hope it's not going to keep running out of the lineup too long. You might get tomorrow off and then the team off day on Thursday, which means you may very well see Ryan out of the lineup, but you don't know. Came in hard. You're right. He did kind of pull up a little bit.
A hitch in his giddy up. Now here's Cesar Izturis. It will be interesting if the Brewers do not get to Braun's original spot in the order, which is now occupied by Veras. If Renicky will leave Veras in, those roles aren't so defined at this point. As Izturis A base hit just past the outstretched Tyler Greene at second base. Second hit of the night for Cesar Turris.
Yeah, lefty versus lefty, and I say his Turris swung around to the right side. Little fastball up the outside corner. Goes out and reaches for it, and just barely able to get out of the reach of Greene at second base. So Cesar Turris with hits from both sides of the plate tonight.
And a 1-out single brings Nyjer Morgan to the plate. His first at bat of the ball game. Morgan's playing time has been cut short lately. The emergence of Nori Aoki, and it's started to look more similar to that left-right platoon that RICKIE had last year with Gomez and Morgan, with the exception of Gomez getting a few more starts against right-handed starting pitchers like he did last night against Lance Lynn.
Last night and tonight.
Gomez had 2 hits last night and back in the starting lineup for this game tonight against a right-handed starter, Joe Kelly. Manny Parra loosening for the 8th. Start looking ahead to the Cardinal 8th inning. Alan Craig, then John Jay, a lefty, and then the switch hitter Beltran, who you would prefer to hit right-handed. Close to a balk.
Pretty good move over there by Browning. Kind of hangs that leg up there, waiting for the runner to commit. And you're right, that's close.
And there goes his Turris. Morgan swings away. Shallow right center. John Jay will run it down. Throw to first is late. Second out of the inning as Morgan is retired.
Turris had that one stolen. He went on the first move, and it didn't matter what Browning did. He was heading to second base and had it stolen easily.
And he looks uncomfortable at first base. At the plate, presented by Wendy's, for Nori Aoki. Scored a run, he's singled, he's walked, he's 1 for 2. Two outs in the inning with Aoki at the plate. And a strike on the outside corner.
Cross up. Molina called one thing, got another. Watch the flinch by Molina. You don't see him do that much.
Amazing he was able to catch it.
Yeah, but he got a called strike.
It's a combination of things that usually don't all fall in place on a cross up, especially the called strike part.
Most catchers are moving around a lot more on a cross up.
Sometimes you think Aoki does that on purpose, that wild swing, almost lulling a left-handed pitcher into a false sense of security. You see a swing like that, you say, oh, this guy, he can't hit my breaking ball here.
And throw it again.
I don't know if he does it or not, but typically when he swings like that, he usually drives the ball to the opposite field the next time. On the ground, a short bobble by Foucault. Oh, a rare out for call. That would aid him up. And that will extend the inning. Just don't see that very often.
No, you don't. That's about as routine as it gets for call. And rolled right up the gloves. All hands are safe, and Mike Matheny's probably going to make a pitching change.
Pretty routine for call. Boots it. That's his 9th error. And indeed, Matheny on his way to the mound to take the left-hander out. Gomez coming up. A right-handed batter. Matheny makes the change. We'll take a break. Inning, and that means Mike Matheny goes to the bullpen. Fernando Salas, who at one point was the Cardinal closer last year, he will take over with 2 on and 2 out, and Gomez coming up.
And it was a stretch where he was having a rough time of it. 35th appearance, a .488 earned run average, but he's gone 6 consecutive scoreless outings. See the strikeouts, big strikeout totals for Salas, 34 of them in just a little over 31 innings.
And he does that without overpowering stuff. He doesn't have a big fastball. Has great command and breaking stuff. 2 on 2 out. Brewers trying to add to their lead as Gomez out in front of that one somehow. It's hard to be fooled and ahead of a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
And these Cardinal pitchers don't work inside too much. They really don't. Didn't see much of it from Kelly. Didn't see a whole lot of it from Lance Lynn last night. Mott pitches away most of the time, their closer. They'll come in for effect once in a while, but they really don't want to throw a strike in there too much.
Gomez ahead in the count, 2-1. 2-2. Big rip at a breaking ball.
Man, a hanging slider, a good pitch to hit. Gomez out in front of it.
Johnny Nair, the Brewers hitting coach, constantly reminds Gomez to be patient, let the ball travel. He's so quick, sometimes too quick. Doesn't want him jumping at the plate. 3-2. Fernando Salas. Both runners will get a head start. There they go, the 3-2 pitch, and a foul ball right off the knob of the bat. Brewers took the lead on a Weeks homer in the 4th, trying to add to it here in the 7th. Runners go. Gomez fouls it off. And they rework bullpen for Ron Renicky the rest of the way. A bullpen that is now 2 men short tonight. That's why it was so important for Randy Wolf to give a deep start in this game, and he went 6 2/3, just 2 earned runs for Wolf. Ball 4. Gomez walks, and now Renicky with what was originally Ryan Braun's spot in the order, then occupied by Veras on the double switch. He'll send up Travis Ishikawa to hit. Just joining us, Ryan Braun in the 5th inning with a call at the plate. Just a lazy fly ball that ended up as a base hit, and Braun,
it doesn't look too serious. I mean, he is hobbling, but it doesn't look like it's going to be something that's going to give him too much of a problem. At least you hope that's the case. And boy, this is where that injury really comes into play.
Instead of Braun, it's Ishikawa who breaks his bat. That's a fair ball, and just like that, the inning is over. So the Brewers strand, the bases loaded. It's still 3-2 Milwaukee as we go to the 8th. Of the game tonight, he was outstanding. Just 2 earned runs to the top hitting team in the National League, the St. Louis Cardinals. 2 earned runs over 6 2/3 innings. Wolf with 1 walk and 6 strikeouts, and he is in a position to win a game for the first time since April 30th. Last one against the San Diego Padres back in late April. Now Manny Parra trying to take the ball to the 9th as he works in the 8th inning. Again, there are no set roles now in the bullpen for Ron Renicky until the 9th, and Francisco Rodriguez. Parra will have the 8th right now as Veras did a nice job getting out of a mess in the 7th inning, stranding 2 base runners on.
It took a number of pitches to finally get Rafael for a call, but Manny Parra is going to be facing a right-hander, then a left-hander, then Carlos Beltran, a switch hitter. And after that, you're probably going to see Cameron Lowe if it gets that far.
Our Miller Lite, what's on tap? The Brewers and the Cardinals wrap up the series and the homestand for the Brewers tomorrow. Tyler Thornburg against Adam Wainwright. Thornburg, just his 2nd major league start. It'll be just his 3rd major league appearance. Brewers are off Thursday, and then a 3-game series in Cincinnati against the first place Reds. Alan Craig, who is 2 for 3. 2 hits to start his night tonight. Then he bounced into a 1-4-3 double play started by Wolf very nicely. That was back in the 5th, and that ended the inning. Ball and a strike on Craig. And that one drops in for a strike. 1-2. Parra has that equalizer pitch, the split finger fastball, and he can throw it hard, make it an old-fashioned splitter, or can take a little off and use it as a fork ball.
That's what he just did. There's the splitter.
Swing and a miss, strikes him out. Same grip. Everything's the same, and just the velocity's different.
Yeah, chokes down the velocity just a little bit. The one that is not thrown as hard has a bigger break than the strikeout split-fingered fastball. And well, when he gets ahead in the count, he gets to 1-1. He can be devastating to right-handed batters.
John Jay with one away. And starts him with a strike. It's amazing that, and Manny Parra has showed us the grip of his splitter, and it's really not the positioning of the fingers on the splitter, but the thumb. Where he moves that thumb, there's a strike.
2 good curveballs right there. Wow.
Parra getting ahead of John Jay. 0-2 the count. You got Beltran on deck in a 1-run game. It's a fascinating game that way. A fraction of an inch on how you grip a baseball can change what it looks like to a hitter. The speed, the direction.
And the direction that it breaks. Yeah.
Bouncing ball. Ricky Weeks gobbles it up. 2 up, 2 down for Manny Parra. Well, with Beltran coming up, our text question tonight, courtesy of Ho Chunk Gaming. Has the art of switch hitting gone away in baseball? Steve in Cedarburg asks.
Good question. I guess you don't see as many coming up through the ranks as you used to. Not that many anyway. I mean, good ones. It's tough enough to be proficient on one side of the plate, let alone both.
I think it's still prevalent in Latin America because kids in Latin America, the Dominican Republic, and Venezuela, they swing from both sides of the plate a lot, playing a lot of games. And but you're right, that's a very interesting question. I'm trying to think of some young switch hitters that are just coming up. 2-0 to Beltran, and that one's on the corner for a strike.
Good fastball down and away. That's a danger count for Manny Parra. 2-0, 2-1, 3-1. Definite fastball counts. He has to avoid them.
Another strike. 2-2. Beltran's had good success in his 5 at-bats. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Manny Parra against Carlos Beltran. 3-2.
You got to wonder if he's looking for that split. He took 2 fastballs, 2 pretty hittable fastballs, 2-0, 2-1, and didn't even give that last splitter a second look.
Is he thinking what I'm thinking? Full count. Parra deals. A bouncer foul. So Beltran stays alive. Looking ahead to the Brewers' bottom of the 8th. Aramis Ramirez, Corey Hart, and Rickie Weeks. It was Weeks who gave the Brewers the lead in the 4th that Parra is trying to protect. Another payoff to Beltran. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Manny Parra, 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Setting up K-Rod perhaps. 3-2. Brewers still lead.
Getting set for Brewers Live postgame. Lots to talk about. Pitching as a whole. Good start for Wolf. Good bullpen use. It's going to be a different story now for the bullpen.
It is going to be different, but you got to like the way Randy Wolf went about his job tonight. You give him a definition: efficient, throwing strikes, getting ahead of hitters, getting that breaking ball over the plate, and then you look at the job that Manny Parra comes in. Little different what they've been doing. It's going to be interesting to find out what happens the next inning.
All right, K-Rod may get scheduled to come in for a save opportunity. Brian will have it covered for you after the ball game as well. Full reaction.
All right, Craig and Augie, thank you. As we move to the bottom of the 8th inning. Aramis Ramirez leading off here. Ryan Braun has left this game with an injury. We'll hear from Drew Olson in a moment. There's an update from the Brewers clubhouse. (3-2) Milwaukee. Manny Parra, very impressive as Ramirez lines one to left field, a base hit. And the Brewers have their leadoff hitter aboard here in the 8th. Drew, what's the update on Ryan Braun?
Guys, Ryan Braun left the game with a strained right adductor muscle. I'm no surgeon or physician, but I believe that's an area where the hip meets the thigh, the upper thigh. And nice. Bia, you mentioned he's been battling right leg problems up and down all year, and this may be a kinetic chain thing where he's favoring one thing and has another injury. We'll see. We'll get more word after the game.
All right, Drew, thank you.
A kinetic chain?
Drew's dropping some pretty big words.
I mean, really? Wow.
He's exactly right.
He says he's not a physician.
But he does play one on TV and radio. So Drew will be in the clubhouse after the game, and we'll get an update on Braun, his status. I'm sure Ron Ridicke will be anxious to know if he's available tomorrow, which we probably won't find out until tomorrow, but all that's coming up on Brewers Live following the game. You ever have anything involving a kinetic strain there, Ron?
No idea.
The kinetic chain?
Don't know. An abductor?
Well, you never like to see Ryan Braun leave a game with an injury, but one thing about Ryan, he knows his body, and he knows when he needs a break or when he's on the verge of something serious. He's always been very good about that. And sometimes, and this year, he's been able to play through injury. What's amazing is that Braun continues to put up these monster offensive numbers. And I would say a season where he really hasn't been 100% most of the year.
Right. Upper body's been at 100%, but you know, the lower body, as you talk about, is just as important in hitting as, you know, the arms, the shoulders, you know, triceps, the upper body. That's the foundation of the swing. When you get problems there, a lot of times you're going to have problems in the upper half, trying to compensate.
Hart down to the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Corey Hart is 1 for 3 with an RBI. Ramirez led the inning off with a single. Hart extending his hitting streak with that base hit in the first to 11 games. And he lays off 2-2. Hart starting to put together some significant career numbers in a Brewers uniform. He's been in the big leagues with the Brewers going back to the 05 season. Actually made 1 appearance in 04, but up and down in 05. Was a part-time player in 06. Remember, he was platooning with Jeff Jenkins, and then an everyday player in 07. He was an all-star in 08. That was his first real full season in the major leagues, when he was the starter from the beginning of the season to the end.
Well, you're right. He has put up consistent numbers throughout his career, and he's had his share of injury issues, particularly early in the year, coming out of spring training in the last couple of years. But you know, after that, I mean, he's been able to stay relatively healthy. Better to stay out on the field, and that's the only way you can rack up numbers, good offensive numbers, is to stay off the disabled list.
Got a good battle going here with Salas. Pitch number 8, the 2-2, and that one just missed. Full count. Twice Hart was a 2020 performer. Had 20 or more homers and 20 or more steals. That was 07 and 08. He's not the stolen base threat he was back then, but still a power threat. Hits that one high in the air, right center, and Jay will run it down for the out. Just missed it on the bat, did Hart, for the first out of the inning. Well, Manny Parra, Marshfield Clinic's shining moment of the game. At the top of the order, 2, 3, and 4, and Manny Parra made it look easy. 1, 2, 3 inning with 2 strikeouts.
That got ahead of Craig, got him with a splitter. John Jay, an easy ground out, and fell behind Beltran 2-0. Able to get him on a split finger fastball.
Here is Ricky Weeks now with a runner at first, Ramirez, and 1 away. Parra becomes an interesting pitcher late in games when the pressure is up, and you know the hitters are feeling a little more pressure, especially if he's in a setup type role when the opposition is down, because he does have that swing and miss stuff, and he threw a couple of very good curveballs in his scoreless inning.
And 2 good ones to John Jay, and Jay ultimately grounded weakly to second base. Throwing strikes for all of his pitches tonight. That's a very good sign. Brewers are going to need more out of Manny Parra. They're probably going to be asking more out of Manny now that the bullpen has been shaken up a bit. And he has the good stuff to be able to get out right-handers.
0-2 on Weeks. Hall of Fame closer Dennis Eckersley always talked about pitching the ninth inning, pitching in late inning situations, and he said if you can stomach it as a pitcher and you can handle the pressure, it's actually an easier inning to perform because hitters are more aggressive. They're the ones down in the game, and you get a lot of swings, and a lot of swings that you wouldn't normally get because the pressure is at its peak in the final inning of a game or in the final outs of a game.
In theory, that sounds good, but he's a Hall of Famer. Not many can handle it like that, right?
Yeah, that's the key.
Right.
Handling it on the mound.
Not many can. Year after year after year.
It's the toughest job in baseball from a pitching standpoint, those last 3 outs. Weeks rips one to right, and right at Beltran. Had to reach up at the last moment.
Good at bat by Rickey. That's a good approach on that last swing. Breaking ball up in the zone, and he hit it hard into right.
So it'll be Martin Maldonado batting for the second time. Aramis Ramirez still at first after a leadoff single. Looking ahead to the Cardinal ninth, and right now it'll be Frankie Rodriguez to face the Redbirds in the ninth. David Freese, Yadier Molina, then Matt Carpenter. Maldonado pinch hit for Kataris in the 7th inning. Had a long battle with Browning before he finally bounced out. That one was called a strike. 0-2. Francisco Rodriguez does have one save for the Brewers. That was earlier this year, back in April. And just moments away, perhaps, from another save opportunity.
Nice to have a guy with that pedigree down in the bullpen when you have a closer situation. Your closer's not getting the job done. You're able to go to a guy that has almost 300 saves.
Renicky making that move prior to the game today. 1-2. There goes Ramirez, and a swing and a miss. Maldonado strikes out. The inning is over, and now it's K-Rod time in the 9th inning for the Brewers. 3-2 Milwaukee. Francisco Rodriguez on to try to save it when we come back. Here we go to the 9th, and the day Ron Renicky makes a change with his closer, a save opportunity presents itself as Frankie Rodriguez in our Columbia St. Mary's save tracker. He has 292 career saves. 62 of those came in one season, a record-setting season with the Angels. That was back in 2008 when he set the single season mark for saves. And now he's on to try to nail it down for Randy Wolf and the Brewers as they try to even this series at 1 apiece.
Now K-Rod coming into tonight having thrown pretty well, hasn't allowed a run in his last 5 appearances, including last night.
This will be his 4th outing in the last 5 days. And the first pitch to David Freese is in there for a strike. Rodriguez had a save early in the season on April 10th. His first and only save for the Brewers. That was against the Cubs, and that was just his 3rd appearance of the season. And the 5th game of the season for the Brewers as Freese muscles one inside the bag at first. And a base hit. Freese on his way to second. A leadoff double for David Freese and the tying run in scoring position.
Now these guys, these base hits that the Cardinals have been able to put together tonight, certainly not the hardest hit baseball that they've had this year, but they've certainly made the most of it. 3 hits for Freese, including a double. K-Rod able to eat him up inside, and check out Corey Hart playing off the line, not expecting Freese to hit the ball in that direction, but he does.
Well, trouble already for K-Rod here in the 9th inning. A leadoff double. Here's Yadier Molina, who has been the Cardinals' hottest hitter. He squares to bunt, takes a strike. Francisco Rodriguez has 1 save since last July. It was July 8th when he saved his last game for the New York Mets, his 23rd save. And then he was traded during the All-Star break last year to the Brewers. Just 1 since the one he had in early April. Oh, and 1 to Molina. Ball and a strike.
Yeah, I don't think anybody was believing that Molina was going to bunt, as well good as he is at going to right field. That's his game, opposite field. Instead of the bunt, you try and get your base hit to right field. K-Rod's got to make him pull the baseball here.
Put a fastball by him, and it's 1-2 now. Well, normally in the 9th inning here at Miller Park, it is loud anticipation of a successful save situation. But the way the bullpen has gone this year, it's a tempered crowd here tonight, especially after that double by David Freese.
Yeah, that quiets the home crowd pretty quickly.
Brewers had a 2-0 lead with 2 outs in the 9th yesterday. Cardinals scored 3, all with 2 outs to take the lead and eventually win the game. The 1-2. Somehow Molina fouled that one off.
They're still trying to hit the ball to the right side, even on the fastball in off the corner.
Cardinals have 9 hits tonight. And I would venture to say only 2 of them have actually been off the barrel of the bat.
Yeah. A lot of cheapies into the outfield, but they all count.
1-2 on Molina. Into center field, a base hit. Freese is going to hold at third base. With the strong arm of Gomez. Back-to-back hits to start the 9th. And here come the Cardinals once again. 10 hits now for St. Louis.
Yep, a 1-2 pitch by K-Rod up out over the plate, and Molina able to dump it into center. Hit that one well. It was a changeup up in the strike zone.
And now it'll be Matt Carpenter. Remember, Matheny has already used Lance Berkman. Not only did he hit, but then he was ejected from the game. Looks like Skip Schumacher will hit next. First and third, nobody out. Infield in for the Brewers. Carpenter takes a strike. And this is a spot where K-Rod wants to live up to his nickname. He needs a K.
A K or two.
Oh, and 2 the count on Carpenter. That was a fastball from K-Rod.
Hasn't thrown a slider yet, a breaking ball. He made a mistake on a changeup to Yadier Molina. Throws a changeup here, got to be down in the dirt. Got a couple of pitches to play with.
The best arm in the outfield is in center field with Gomez. First and third with Freese over at third base after the leadoff double. Molina at first. Not very good speed on the bags for the Cardinals. Ryan Braun out of the game, taken out with an injury. So Aoki is in left. Gomez with the best throwing arm in center, and Morgan below average arm in right, and he's very deep. Oh, and 2. Carpenter doesn't bite. Good block from Maldonado.
And that's where you got to put it. You know, with 2 strikes, you want to throw that curveball, put it in the dirt. Catcher's got to block it.
Matt Carpenter had a hit his last time up. A big hitter for Rodriguez. Another 2-strike offer. Molina takes off, bouncing ball to short. Izturis will look the runner back and will make the play. So the Brewers get it out with Molina in motion. Second and third now, but the Brewers still in the lead, and K-Rod 2 outs away from a save.
And Carpenter trying to shoot that hole between third and short. Taking that pitch, trying to drive it into the left field, and Izturis able to make the adjustment and get the out at first base. Freese has to hold.
So Izturis covering the bag with Molina on the run. Redirects, and the out is recorded. And 1 gone with runners at second and third. And Skip Schumacher will pinch hit for Tyler Greene. As a pinch hitter this year, he's 3 for 13, 2 RBIs. Overall, a .323 hitter. Has just 124 at-bats this year. Tying run at third. Infield in once again for the Brewers. And there's a strike from Rodriguez.
Makes a big difference being 1-0 or 0-1. K-Rod got the call on the breaking pitch. Schumacher didn't like it. Good success against K-Rod for Skip Schumacher.
Schumacher spent some time on the DL, had a hamstring injury, came back in mid-June. Fouls that one off. 0-2 the count on Schumacher. Since Schumacher has returned, he has been outstanding with runners in scoring position. Those are his pinch hitting numbers. With runners in scoring position, he's hitting .481. Now the crowd getting into it. And 2. Sawed him off as he fouls it away.
Now the one thing that Rodriguez does not want to do is leave an off-speed pitch up in the strike zone. Brewers pitching has done that quite a bit tonight. With the infield in, a soft floater into the outfield, pretty much a short of 2 runs, even with Molina running.
Freese started the inning with a double. Molina a single. Second and third, 1 out. Boy, what a block by Maldonado. Saves another run. He's blocked a couple in this inning. That was a little higher degree of difficulty.
Yep, come in the ball game about 3 innings ago, and look at that pitch bounces in front of home plate by about a foot. Got good skills behind home plate. Not only does he get in front of him, but he softens the chest and is able to keep it close.
One ball, 2 strikes. K-Rod against Schumacher. And he fouls another one away. A fastball. K-Rod's velocity has been up over the last month or so. Early in the season, he was having a tough time with the fastball. It was topping out at 90, 91 miles an hour. But lately, as his back has healed and he had some tightness in his back early in the season, the fastball's been up to 93, 94, and he's thrown a couple at 94 tonight already. Another 1-2 pitch on the way to Schumacher. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Huge strikeout for Francisco Rodriguez. Now 2 gone.
Got him on a breaking ball. Well done. That was a 6-pitch at bat. All but 1 out of the strike zone. And he tries to come up and in on Schumacher on his next pitch, able to fight it off. Here's the pitch out of the zone that Maldonado does a nice job in blocking. And on pitch number 6, the breaking ball couldn't hold up. And another good job by Maldonado, keeping it right there in front of him.
A curveball from K-Rod. Schumacher out. First strikeout for Rodriguez. 2 gone now. The infield back in regular depth. Still second and third, and Daniel Descalso will pinch hit for the Cardinals. Just missed inside. Descalso, as a pinch hitter, 1 for 13. He was the starter at second base last night, was 1 for 3. And the Brewers once again have the Cardinals down to their last out. In the air, this should do it. Eustace is back. He's got it, and the Brewers win. Francisco Rodriguez notches the save, his second of the year. He is 7 shy of 300. Strands 2 Cardinals, 2 on, nobody out. They cannot score, and the Brewers win it 3-2, making a winner out of Randy Wolf for the first time since April 30th. And look at the emotion of Francisco Rodriguez here. A historically good closer. And he is back in a comfortable spot. He picks up number 2 and a much-needed win for the Milwaukee Brewers. Series all even with 1 to play tomorrow. Much more still to come as we check in with Craig Pashon at Brewers Live Set.
Well, Brian, it should be an animated postgame. Get inside that Brewer clubhouse. Hope to hear from K-Rod. Rickie Weeks, a big home run. Very satisfying 3-2 win. You can tell for this Brewer team. We'll cover it all. Brewers Live on the way on Fox Sports Wisconsin.